All righty, I guess, let's see, are we getting started here? Can you hear me okay? Looks like Catherine is in. Can you hear me? Good, okay, all righty. Well, I'm gonna go ahead, let's see, and get started because we're supposed to start at 11 a.m. So I wanna make sure that I maximize all of my time. Let me just check here. Yep, and get myself going. I'm gonna share my screen so I can show you my slides. All right, let's see here. Thank you. I'm excited too. All right, hold on one second. All right, good. Okay, let me just hit present. All righty. Good. Okay, looks like we are good to go. I am Elder Robin Ware, and I am so excited. Thank you, LaKesha, for the opportunity to share today as a part of your Rethinking Church conference. I think this is awesome and amazing. So my assignment is to help you all understand creating content that connects. So as I said, I'm Elder Robin Ware, and I'm a church consultant. I am the president of the Ware Agency, Atlanta. And let me see if I hook up this mic. Will it help you guys hear me a little bit better? I meant to do this. My apologies. All right. Let me know if you guys can still hear me okay. Put in the comments if you can still hear me okay. I want to make sure I give you guys the absolute best. All right, here we go. Thank you for that. So, as a church consultant, I have traveled the world literally teaching on ministry excellence, helping churches understand how to incorporate technology into their churches. Even before the pandemic, I've been doing this almost 20 years. I've been a big proponent of using Facebook. In fact, you see, I've got a copy of my book, The Ultimate Guide, The Ultimate Facebook manual for churches, where I teach them how to use Facebook. And my intent was to teach them how to use it as a second campus, as a digital campus. But of course, now with the pandemic, it is the first campus for a lot of ministries. So all these different books and resources are available on my website. And of course, you should be able to download the teaching. You're able to click right on that screen, and it'll take you to my website so that you can check out those amazing resources. I'm so super proud that my latest book, which you can see right behind me here and on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, is called Wow Your Guests. It teaches ministries how to create amazing hospitality experiences for those visiting your churches. You know, we know that people are visiting churches, particularly now that we are in the pandemic. And so even though we're virtual, you want to make sure that those that are streaming you as a visitor or a guest, that they have a great experience. So that book teaches you about that as well. So check out all my books and products on my website. So one of the things that I did, I immediately, when the pandemic hit, I created some great content that connected with my audience. LaKesha was sharing in her session. It was a really good session talking about the importance of understanding who your audience is. She did a great analogy of using a cell phone. You know, when these cell phone providers, they go live, or when they do commercials. I'm so busy teaching, thinking about teaching church people. I'm talking about going live. But, you know, when these commercials play, they are targeting a particular audience. And you can tell by the people that they use, by the actors and the actresses, by the vernacular that they use, meaning the words and the language, and then the backgrounds, all of that. Well, it's the same thing. I understand that to connect to my audience, that I have got to use what would engage them, that would solve a problem for them. And I'll get into that in just a minute. But when the pandemic hit, I immediately created content for my specific audience. I did not create content for hairstylists. I did not create content for professional photographers. My audience, I am a church consultant. Everybody type that in the comment box. Church consultant. I understand who I serve. And so I immediately created this great content for them. Yep, look at that. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. We got a good class going on today. I created content for them that solved a problem. So the first teaching was how to live stream in excellence for churches, and then live streaming what you need to do before you go live, because a lot of churches did not have the equipment nor the processes that they needed in order to go live in excellence. So I created that. And I'll tell a little bit more about kind of how I came up with that even as we go on throughout this teaching. All right. And let me see, let me get rid of, I think there's one thing on here that is, okay. All right. I just thought there was something I wanted to get rid of there. All right. So as a result of the pandemic, I immediately started doing COVID trainings. People were inviting me to be a workshop presenter. I was interviewing people. I'm a professional meeting planner. That's really what I did in church before I became a church consultant, starting my own agency. And so people still know me for that. And so I got requests to assist churches and organizations, even with the production of their online conferences. Well, one of the reasons why people reach out to me is because I create content that connects with what they need. All right. So I am okay. Now that's okay, you guys. Hold on. I'm not sure why that did that, but we are going to get this back. Let's see here. There we go. All right. So before we even get started, I would love for you guys to connect with me via my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Robin M. Ware. Or you can text my last name, Ware, to the number 22828 and follow the prompts. Literally, your cell phone. One of the things I teach my clients in church, instead of passing out those old-fashioned Connect cards, which now can't really do that anyway because we're not meeting live, but you ask your audience to text you. Use some sort of texting service. And the texting service I use is $15 a month. Super, super cheap. I'll tell you more about that as well. But text my last name, Ware, to the number 22828 and follow the prompts. It is so super easy, and it will walk you all through how to connect with me. That's what this teaching is about. And so I want to give you real life examples. I'm not one of those coaches or consultants that talks theory. I talk application, things that you can actually use that will change how you do what you do. So one of the things that I want you to immediately do, and that is to avoid this mistake. This is a picture of an audience, but in the center, you can see there is a group of people that are in color. So the audience is in black and white, but the audience in the middle, they are in color. That's because you need to identify who your audience is and speak to them. So a lot of people will say to me, well, Coach Robin, I've got, 6,000 followers on Instagram, but how many of those are your audience? Just because you have 6,000 people following you on Instagram doesn't mean you have 6,000 people that will buy from you. That doesn't mean that you have 6,000 people that will hire you. That doesn't mean that you have 6,000 people that will book you. Oh, see, I know what I'm talking about. I am a full-time church consultant. I have been making six figures in my business for years. I'm not all over social media showing you all, my bank account and receipts and all the kind of craziness, because that's not what God asked me to do. God called me to be a blessing to the ministry. So I take care of his business. He takes care of my business. And so I bought my dream home this year, able to take care of my parents. My father transitioned just last year, but prior to that, my mom and dad, we live in a beautiful, beautiful home. I'm single. I don't have any children. And when I tell you God is so good, I don't have a worry in the world. So I don't have to go through all that trying to prove who I am through social media likes, right? I am just doing what I have been assigned, what's been assigned to my hands. And I challenge you to do that even through this teaching, understanding how to create content that connects. I deliver content that speaks to my audience, or that speaks to my niche, or as I like to say, my tribe. All right. So that's my first point, is find your tribe. 5,000, 6,000 people on Instagram, that's fine. But your tribe is who you're assigned to. Your tribe is who is going to connect with you. I'm telling you, I have people that follow me wherever I go. If I'm in their city, if I'm near their city, they will come to hear me speak. If I offer a workshop, they register, whether it's free, whether it's paid. If I have some sort of product, they're buying it. If they need a consultation, they're telling their pastors. It's like I've deputized them to be my marketing agents. But because I understand who my tribe is, they are out there warring for your girl, right? Excuse me. So they help me do what God has assigned to my hands. A lot of you are wondering why your platforms aren't growing. You're wondering why your audience is, you're getting, you may have 3,000 followers on a social media account, but you've got 12 likes. That's because that's not your tribe. So you have to speak to your tribe, and then they will support you. Well, how do you find your tribe? How do you know what kind of content that will connect you to your tribe? You ask. If you feel like that you've been called to help people with marketing, then you should start creating content that is all about marketing. And I do suggest this, if you've been called to teach marketing to the church, to athletic teams, to municipalities, to convention and visitors bureaus, that's the type of marketing content you create. That's how you become a magnet. Magnets connect, right? It's the same concept. It's really, really, really important that you understand that, all right? So find your tribe. Good, all righty. I'm just clicking back over so that I can make sure you guys are following along with me, and I'm checking the comments. Good stuff, all right? So find your tribe. I've never gotten caught up in numbers. Truth be told, if you go look at my Instagram numbers, you may not be that impressed. Like I probably have 7,000 followers. But if you look at my Delta mileage account, you'd be impressed. Because I've traveled all over the world because I'm invited as a speaker. And so that's why I'm not trying to draw attention and floss online and show money stacks and, wear all these fancy clothes and all that stuff. I do like to look nice, but I'm just saying, I understand who my audience is. And so because I've connected with them, they trust me. There's a process. Type this in the comment box. People first have to know you. So the word know, type know, K-N-O-W. Then people have to like you, L-I-K-E. Type that. And then they have to trust you. It's as simple as that. In the marketing space, we teach that. You walk them through these 3 phases: knowing you, liking you, and trusting you. And you guys, that may happen. You go live with 3 people on it, but who cares? One of those 3 may be the one that invites you to an event where you meet the person that's supposed to walk you through the door to your next level. So that's why I always give my best, because you never know who God has assigned to your success. Now that's the coach in me coming out, but that's one of the things that I teach my students is God has assigned people to your success. So I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to go out here begging. I don't have to go out here cheating. I don't do photo shoots every other week. I get so tickled when I see people that put photos up. I just did a new photo shoot. I just did a new photo shoot. I don't care how many photo shoots you do. If you are not attracting your tribe, you are just wasting money. All right? So think about that. So let's keep moving. So that's our main focus from this. That's one of our main takeaways from this session, is that you have to find your tribe. Then you have to create value for your tribe. Well, how do you do that? What problems does your tribe have that you can solve? As I shared, when the pandemic hit, I knew that my tribe, which is the church, they were going to have a problem with technology, because a lot of churches did not stream because they were of the belief that social media was the devil. And they were of the belief that if you live streamed your services, people wouldn't come to church. And then they were of the belief that people wouldn't give financially virtually, which of course we've all learned all three are not true, right? Social media is what you make of it. If you put out craziness, then yeah, you may attract craziness. But I can tell you that probably 80% of my clients, my engagements, my opportunities all come through social media. So I love that LaKesha is on Clubhouse and, she's rocking it. And I think that's awesome. I've yet to get on Clubhouse. Why? Because that's just not my assignment right now. And people reaching out to me, oh, Robin, your voice, you do so well on Clubhouse. Well, maybe next week. I do have a profile because one of my students, well, a few of my students, they all sent me links saying, hey, we need you on Clubhouse. But I knew that what God had assigned to me, I had to finish that out before I could go and jump on another social network, because people trust me. And so I didn't want to jump over on another network and then I still had things I hadn't done and finished over here. Because your girl, I'm putting some mileage in YouTube. Be comfortable connecting where your audience is. Sure, I can grow an audience on Clubhouse. I'm Robin Ware, right? You should say the same thing. I don't say that arrogantly, but when you know who God has called you to, you have that assignment, then you walk in that holy boldness. We're peculiar people. And so you claim it. I know that there are people that need to hear my voice. Again, it might be one person, it might be 5 million. I don't care. That is God's assignment. He is going to send who's supposed to hear my voice. But I don't want to get ahead of God and just jump all over places. Nope. I want to stay focused on my assignment. So you may get an email from your girl saying, hey, I'm over on Clubhouse, but not until I'm released to do that. And that's one thing you have to be comfortable with, in knowing your assignment and your tribe. So what problems do they have? What problems can you solve for them? Even who's your current tribe? Meaning, who are the people that are speaking life to you saying, hey, whatever it is you're doing, I'm supporting. I so appreciate what you've done, what you've created. Even if it's something you're not charging for, maybe you're an amazing baker, but you're not doing it for profit yet. So you got people saying, girl, would you please make us a pie for Thanksgiving? Would you please bake us cookies? Would you please do a virtual cooking night so that we all can come on Zoom and watch you and have you guide us? That's your tribe. So listen to them, because they're telling you what it is they want from you. See, I coach my students to understand, don't create products to sell. Nope. You create products your audience wants to buy. I'll talk more about that in just a minute. But I always like to use this formula, you guys. Free plus free plus free equals fee. That's how you get raving fans. Free plus free plus free equals fee. Well, what do I mean by free plus free plus free? Well, providing free content at least 3 different ways before you start charging a fee. You could do it through these tools: weekly email blasts, social media posts, text to join ways, free trainings, videos on YouTube, or webinars using Zoom. So this little picture in the top left-hand corner, it says my number one Zoom tip. That is actually a free YouTube video that I created that is all of 4.5 minutes. It might be a little bit longer, but it's not very long. And so by putting that out on YouTube, I then take that link and I send it out to my email blast. The people that are on my email blast are the people that opted into my text to join, just like I asked you guys. By texting my last name to 22828, that's ultimately going to put you on my email blast. Some of you may know about sales funnels and all that kind of stuff. I can't get into all of that in this short amount of time, but that's a part of that process. So by creating that type of content on YouTube, sending it out through my email list, posting about it on Instagram, Facebook, even hosting a webinar. I did a webinar on how to use Zoom for church. Then after I did those 3 or 4 free things, I offered something for a fee. Why? Because the word teaches us, Deuteronomy 8:18, 8 and 28, that God gives us the ability to create wealth. See, y'all got to learn some other scriptures other than the Lord is my shepherd. Yeah, see, there's a lot in that good book. And so I believe that God, he is no respecter of person. And just as he has provided increase in ways that has exceeded the expectations of people, he'll do the same thing for me. And so I believe his word is true. And so I put content together. I do workshops, I do teachings, and I expect that my cupboards will never be bare. Again, that is why I am a giver. The word teaches us we are blessed. We give, we sow, we reap. That's what the scripture says. It's a principle that works. So free plus free plus free is based on that scripture. The fee part is that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. I seek him. He rewards me. However, he does that through sending my tribe to me, from me getting bookings, from me selling books, all of that. So not to get too spiritual on you, but I'm telling you, if we are people of faith, that is what we have to employ, is our faith. So my favorite email tool is Constant Contact. Click that link. I got a great offer there for you to get it for free. Yes, you can get it for free trial, of course, but then you can start paying, but it will only cost you $15. Depends on how many emails you put in the system. But that is the actual system I use for my text to join as well. See, I'm blessed to be a blessing. And I understand that. I want to help you become everything that you're supposed to be. And you'll do that by connecting to your congregation. All right. Here we go. Let's keep going. That's right. Holy boldness. Absolutely. So as an example of connecting with your audience using content, this is a screenshot of my YouTube channel. Just a week or so ago, I started a new series. Now, I'm not a preacher, not a pastor. Well, I am a preacher, but I'm not a pastor. And so, but I still teach like a preacher, like a pastor. So I teach in series a lot on my YouTube channel. This is another tip. It will help bring people back if you teach in series. So I have proper placement leadership series. I talked about capacity. Then I talked about proper placement. I'm about to record one later today on how to remove someone from their position. You can see 10 areas your ministry should elevate for 2021. Then I did another series, the one thing you can do to enhance your worship experience. See, my audience, I'm walking them through the knowing me, liking me, and trusting me. These videos aren't very long. They're 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Well, I do have one that was 49 minutes, but typically they're not that long. I'm respecting people's time. I know they don't have time to sit there and listen to me, for an hour. And so I give them what they need. It's a blessing. Yes, it can change their lives, but because I understand marketing, I know that the more you give them, it's called the pink spoon method. Let them taste and see. 33 flavors, Baskin Robbins, when you go in there and you buy ice cream, they give you samples on a pink spoon. And then that makes you want to purchase something else that you didn't really come in there for. It's the same thing. These are all of my pink spoon offerings. And then churches will ultimately hire me and bring me in. So here's some more screenshots. I'm sharing this to show you that I am consistent, understanding who my audience is. That I don't have videos on there. People tell me they love my hair, they love my jewelry, but I don't create videos about hair and jewelry. Sure, would I have people watch? Probably. But then I don't have products or teachings or workshops that I can do on hair and jewelry. So it doesn't make sense. So I stay focused on what God has assigned to me, and then God is able to bless me through that. All right. So I love this. You have to hang out where the money resides. Darrell is wonderful. He's a little internet sensation. And so your results are in your routine. Remember that. Your results are in your routines. So every week, I make sure I send out an email blast. Every week, I make sure I upload content to YouTube. Every week, I make sure I post to social media. And same thing, that email is key. When I send out an email marketing e-blast, people always respond, and they will ask me about doing a training for them. They'll ask me a question. They'll ask me about my products. Just all kind of things, because they feel connected to me, because my content has resonated in their spirit and it has helped them. All right. So think about that. Understand your customer. I said this earlier, but don't find customers for your products. Find products for your customers, meaning the content that you create is going to attract your customers because you've created it based off of their needs. So here's a little graphic. As I shared, as a church consultant, I actually started as a meeting planner. That's my professional background. My undergraduate degree is in hospitality management. I worked for Marriott Hotels for 10 years. I worked for the largest church in the country for a while before I started my own agency. And so people still are drawn to me for my event planning, but in church. So I still keep it connected to my ideal audience. So I recently did a workshop that was, I think, $25. I had almost 100 people that registered for that workshop. Well, that's not really where the money resides in that registration fee. Where the money resides for me is in this academy called the Event Planners Profit Center. So because I've been faithful putting out content that connects me to my ideal audience, those that like events in church, those that are faith-based, those that want to run their own event planning businesses, I then offered a course that was only $25. It was amazing. It was value packed. I then offered one of my academies to them, which was $1,000. So you see how that works? Yeah, that academy is what I like to call part of my money cometh or planning my wealth strategy. So again, kind of getting into my coaching, but it works. I'm telling you, to be a single female, to buy a house like I live in, it's nothing but God. It's being consistent to what he's placed in my hands, to employing my faith, to understanding that in my praise, in my worship, in my giving him credit, he's obligated. In my obedience, in my being a giver financially, being a blessing. I have a rental property I let somebody live in for 6 months free. And I paid their utilities. So it wasn't just that I let them live for free. They were down on their luck, but I actually paid all the utilities as well for the 6 months. So they really lived free so that they could get themselves together. Why? Because I'm operating in overflow. Yeah, that's what God has called the church to be. We're supposed to be his living examples, his vessels that he can use to bless people on the earth. And so having these academies and things like that, that's what funds that. But all because I have been blessed to be a blessing. I have another academy where I teach about the will this finally be your breakout year as a paid coach or speaker? So I teach people how to build their own coaching and speaking businesses. All right. So I hope this is making sense. Put in the comments for me. Are you guys getting this? Let's see. RJ Stevenson said, Lord, let me start binging today. Good, Reverend Bell. Love you, sis. Your results are in your routine. That's right. Let me tell y'all this. I try to be consistent in my routines. Why? Because my routines, even before the pandemic, again, I've been an entrepreneur for now, almost 16 years. And so I get dressed. I come down to my office in my home. I don't listen to TV. I don't listen to radio, reality TV, all that stuff. A lot of that stuff is funny. But they're already rich. So, I got to do what I need to do so that I can be rich and so that I can gain and be a blessing, to people. And so my routines are just that. And even my team, when they come and work with me, I have an assistant that comes on Mondays and Fridays. She's gotten used to it. I think it kind of drove her a little crazy, but I didn't care because I know that if you listen to radio, listen to TV, that you'll become distracted. You'll start singing and dancing and popping your fingers. I love music just as much as the next person. However, I want you to understand the sacrifices that you have to make. You have to become comfortable in being uncomfortable, because that's the biggest excuse people tell me. Oh my goodness, I'm just too uncomfortable. Oh, I got to listen to TV. I got to listen to radio. Listen, when you're disciplining yourself, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. But look at what happens when we fast. When we fast and we turn down our plate or we turn off social media, whatever it is you're fasting from, the outcome is supposed to be not that, I can go back to what was. No. It's supposed to be that you have a new desire for what can be. And so that's how I teach my students. All right. Good stuff. All right. Here we go. Let's make sure. Good. Thank you. LaKesha said you guys will get the presentation via email tomorrow morning. Good stuff. All right. Let me get back because I want to watch my time. I'm almost done, you guys. I'll take questions. So one of the things I want to challenge you guys is to consistently engage. That's in creating your content. I actually have a program. It's 21 days to go from anonymous to A-list. You get an email every day for 21 days. And I walk you through what you need to do as far as creating content, what you need to do as far as posting content, even what you need to do as far as setting up your bios and your avatars on social media. What should your Facebook, your not homepage on Facebook, but your Lord Rocket, I think at the top of the page, I always call that your valuable real estate on Facebook. Your header, you want to make sure that you do certain things even with that. So I talk you through all of that I'm sorry, you guys. Look, somebody is calling to book me even right now. Isn't God good? Here I am being a blessing to LaKesha and her audience. And so somebody is texting me saying, hey, I'd like to book you. Thank you, God. I tell you, he's faithful, y'all. So the process, I'm telling you, I'm not just telling you what I think. I told you that I don't teach theory. I teach application. I teach what works because I've done it. So 21 days to go from anonymous to A-list is a great course. It is $97. Listen, if you can't afford $97, you're not ready. You have to make an investment in something other than purses and clothes, belts, books. Belts, red bottoms. Books are a good investment, but $100, $97. If that $97 does not change how you present yourself online, email me and I'll give you a refund. I'm telling you. Now you have to show me that you did what I said as a part of the 21 days. But if you do what I said during the 21 days of this training and you don't have some results, if you don't start to see your audience build, if you don't start to feel some continuity, I'll gladly refund your money. All right. So let's keep going. So you got to be consistent in how you engage. You, of course, I want to do one quick thing. Let me go back. I skipped over something, I think. I want to make sure. Okay, no, I didn't, I guess. Okay. So some of you may want to connect with me even after this session, and you're welcome to do that. You'll see in the link you're going to get tomorrow for this teaching that I do some free coaching calls. But I'll tell you this, you guys, that my coaching calls, they're not hangout sessions to pick my brain. I don't do that. It's 15 minutes, and then I'll walk you through how I feel like I can be a blessing to you. Because if you can't make a financial investment into me, then I can't make a financial investment into you. And you may be saying, what do you mean financial investment back into you? Well, time is money. So I'm not going to hang out on the phone with you for 30 minutes and 60 minutes to convince you that you need what I have. It's called mindset. Your mindset has to already be there that you're ready for change. Listen, y'all, 2021, I'm telling you, for some of us, it's just an extension of 2020. But if you want to change how it ultimately comes or how it ultimately turns out for you, then you got to do some different things. You have to make some investments. Thank you. I see that he said cover photo. Yes, that's what I teach you in that 21 days is how to use that as valuable real estate. So any questions? Again, I want to be sensitive to the time that I was given to present. It's really, really, really important. I want you to, I want to answer any questions that you may have. I get it. Sometimes saying you want change, but doing change, it takes effort. It absolutely does. And sometimes it doesn't feel good. You may have to stop eating out. We're already kind of doing that now because of the pandemic. But you may not have time to hang out with your girlfriends. I went through that season. I told my friends, hey, y'all, I'm working on something. And so as a result, I'm not going to be able to hang out with you guys as much. Even in church, I had to pull back a little bit. I can't be on the usher team, can't be in the choir, can't serve as an armor bearer, can't be on hospitality. No, I got to be a blessing to the kingdom. So I've served very, very well in my local church. I'm still committed to doing XYZ. But in this season, I got to go work on brand Robin or brand you put whatever your name is. Yeah, because I love being able to be a really good giver in my church because I've got the financial resources to do it. Someone said, Melissa, hello there. She says, what programs do you recommend for creating graphics and videos? I like to use, look, I'm gonna just go right here on my phone and tell you the apps that I use. I think it's called InShot. Hold on one second. I think it is. Let me find it. Because one of the things I do, you guys, is my phone is my first employee. So I don't have games on my phone. And some of you may be saying, oh my gosh, she's so intense, but I got the results to prove it works. Yeah. So I have another phone. So when my nieces come over, I have iPads and things like that they can play with. But this right here, oh no, this is my first employee. So they don't play with that. So I've got apps on here. Video Show is a really good app. I use that. And then I use InShot. That's the other one. InShot will allow you to create lower thirds. You guys know what those are? One of the things I teach my students is that you have to look like what you charge. If you want to be paid $3,000 to speak, then you should look like a $3,000 speaker. Look at my background. Look, I'm going to show y'all. My background is really, really nice. It's really, really pretty, right? Because I want to look like who I say I am. When people hire me, they tell me, oh my goodness, we're not ready for you. We can't afford you. Well, thank you. Because I don't want you to waste my time. I don't do all that. Oh, no, let me figure out a plan that'll work for you. No, because if people aren't at that level financially to make that type of investment, once you pour into them, even though you did it as a discount, when they leave you, they won't be able to implement what you've given them because success costs. And so they won't have the monies to buy the systems that it takes to stay consistent. Does that make sense, you guys? all of this stuff that I do for automation, for email marketing, texting, all that stuff costs. So if you can't pay me $300 a month for my coaching academy, then you're surely not going to be able to afford the $500 a month for all these different systems that I use so that I can be automated and so that I can still live my life. You know, my mother, again, I lost my father in June, but my mother's still here with me. Yeah. So she's right upstairs. So I cook, we go out to eat, I order DoorDash, all that kind of stuff. That's expensive. So I have to be able to still afford that. And so I can't do that if I give you free sessions and give you deals of $100 and, you know, a $300 program that you can pay for over 6 months. That's ridiculous. So those of you that join my email list, I do have a boot camp that's coming up for entrepreneurs that I will be sharing information in the next week on. If you're on my email list, you'll get first dibs even at about attending that workshop. But I'm going to tell you, I teach, I can be a little tough, but a lot of us need that accountability. A lot of us need that accountability. Let's see, somebody, all right, RJ Stevenson said, how did you develop a clear boundary between ministry and marketplace? I get asked this all the time. This is such a great question, you know, because, you know, a lot of church people think everything should be free, you know, and so when I normally show, well, I'm not going to show it, but anyway, a lot of people will say to me, because I have been blessed, really, really blessed to work with amazing, amazing people in the kingdom. And I mean, amazing people in the kingdom. You name them, and I've probably worked with them. And they love working with me. And I'm blessed by that. As a matter of fact, one of them reached out to me last night, said, Robin, I missed your birthday. Now, this is a client I haven't done any work for in 2 weeks. You know, last year was the pandemic, but even before that, I think I'd only done one thing for them the year before, but they still love me, right? He said, it's a pastor. He reached out. He said, you know, he and his wife were talking and they had missed my birthday. They'd seen it. You know, I had posted some stuff online. He sent me $1,000 last night through Cash App saying happy birthday. Hey, I'm telling you, people still respect me and honor me in ministry, even though I am marketplace. The way that I am able to keep that boundary clear is because I operate a business called the Ware Agency, and it is for hire. All right. I am a professional speaker and coach that is for hire. I have programs, I have academies. I don't go to churches and say, you know, here, I wrote a book, y'all let me come speak. I don't do that. That's a whole nother teaching that I'll walk you through. I'm, again, extremely blessed. I've never had to do that. I had a client even in this season of COVID. Crystal's on here. She'll tell you they booked me for 5 sessions to speak 5 times. I had never spoken for anything for them before, but because I had positioned myself as an expert in this space, they came and they found me. And so I take strategy calls, just like I showed you guys in my presentation. You can book that consultation with me. If you want to book a 1-hour session with me, it will show you that it is $300. And so you have to pay that in order for your date and time to be confirmed with me. See, what church people do, church people say, oh, well, I'm a consultant or I'm a coach, and so call me and we'll set up a time. Well, then the person calls you and then they're going to ask you, well, what are we going to talk about? How's this going to work? How much money do you want? $300. Oh my goodness. Girl, let me do it for $50. And then, you know, I'm going to send you a Cash App. Then you go and you have the session with them for $50 because your heart got in the way. And then, you know, you begging them, chasing them down for $50 for the Cash App. Nope. When I go to Macy's, when I go to Nordstrom's, when I go to Neiman's, they don't let me have conversations with them before they tell me this is Christian Dior lipstick, this tube of lipstick. When I said I wanted it, they promptly showed me the price and I paid for it and then they gave it to me. It's as simple as that, because they handle business. And so you have to do the same thing in ministry. Again, I'm an ordained elder. I still serve. I have the mother of our church. I'm so sorry for her family. She transitioned to COVID. Her funeral is tomorrow, but her family called me and said, we want to hire your agency. We see your work on social media. My agency is what's promoted, not Robin Ware. Not that I can't have an agency named after me, so I'm not saying that, but I position my agency. So the mother of my church, whom I love dearly, they reached out to me, her family, and said, hey, mother loved you, so we want to hire you to do the marketing for her services, the program for her services, right? So they didn't call Elder Robin Ware, they called the Ware Agency. So I hope that makes sense, you guys. Yep, I love it. Catherine says, set the price and smile. Oh, I love it. She said, I do lunch with friends only. This is what I tell people when they say to me, can I take you to lunch and pick your brain? Or can I, take you to lunch and, just ask you some questions? I always tell them I'm not that hungry. Yeah, I'm not that hungry. Mm-mm. And I don't do that. That's why you go through my website and you book a session. Even people in church, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I tell you what, I'm running out, or, this is church. And so I just, want to worship today, but go to my website and you can book a session with me and they'll see it right there. Now that service costs for that calendaring system that allows people to book a session with me. That's what I was talking about earlier. You have to be able to afford success. Making that investment in that system, they have a light version that will not charge. So if you want people to have to pay before they connect with you, then pay for the full version so that they will pay. And then that shows they value and appreciate your time. And I get people that book the $300 for 1 hour and they'll say to me, I totally appreciate it. I'm glad to know that I have you for 1 full hour. And then I tell them, now I'm not going to do a brain dump. I'm not going to tell you everything in my head for 1 hour. So I walk them through. There's some questions they have to fill out. So I guide them through the planning process. That's one of the secrets of being a coach, is that you let the person that you're coaching guide you on what it is they need from you. All right. So I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Again, that's a whole nother thing. But I hope that you guys have enjoyed this session. Any other questions? This has been fun. LaKesha, thank you again for the opportunity to be on and just be with everybody. You guys have been awesome and amazing. Bernice said you did great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Catherine says, nope, I am right on the money. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Thank you, Renee. She says it has been very informative. All right. So make sure again that you text my last name to the number 22828. And then that's how you will, you'll get a little freebie. And then you will be on my email list and you'll get my information as I promote some other good stuff that I've got coming up. All right. Thank you guys and God bless you. Bye-bye.